what I've seen is a lot of generalisation of what this old chap meant to say. Coming from the UK and a place that I'm disabled, so I'm in a lot of places where old people are. And it's quite hard to put into words, unless you know the words. And during World War II, Winston Churchill, to get us through, had to enact a certain amount of socialism. So everyone got the same rations. Everyone got some sort of basic level of healthcare. And everyone had a job that was drafted to them. And there was a sense of purpose of going forward and togetherness. Then what happened after World War II is Labour was voted in. Now, when Labour was voted in, they built on that socialism because America did the best thing that it ever could have done for us, which is it fucked off when it saw Labour come in. It went, not for us. Bit commie for us. And it fucked off. Fantastic, brilliant job, 10 out of 10 America. So all the way up until the 80s, we had unions in factories. So we had the factories, and the men went back to work in the factories, and the unions were running the factories as a social concern. So you had the unions planned your birthday, they planned your Christmas party, and they took you on state-sponsored trips to Blackpool. And then you have things like the NHS coming in, and the NHS welfare came in, and there was a sense of purpose as moving forward together as a community, and that community was around these factories. And then when you went out of the factory, you went to the social club, the working men's club. You see a lot of these still up north. And these social clubs also did your birthday party, your Christmas party, and your National Express trip to Blackpool. And everyone knew one another because we were in and out of each other from a job perspective, and we were all reliant on one another, and we still had that sense of purpose put forward into us. We were moving forward together as Britain. Then, unfortunately, America came back. She came back with the bitch. We know who MT is. We don't need to mention that one's name. Right, that bitch from hell brought back America. And America went, get rid of unions. And she went, yeah, I don't like them either. So she went round and picked off all those factories, foundries, the coal mines, anything with a union, because those unions were giving these communities a strong sense of community. And when those factories and coal mines went, the union wasn't as important. In some places we kept the unions, in other places we didn't. But the union became not as important. So everything around it, such as social clubs and social events, crumbled. So you're no longer in and out of each other's houses. You no longer know one another. You no longer are participating in a community. And then because this American capitalism is coming in, and the very insidious is American capitalism, because American capitalism takes away the sense of community full stop. There's no community at all with American capitalism. All it is I, me, want. Even to the detriment of your own family, you have got to want the latest trash, right? That then became our go-to. Me, I, want. That community was lost, and that strive to improve Britain and make Britain better. Now, with that came in this idea that it was the brown people's fault. It was anyone that wasn't right's fault that this happened, because heaven forbid you blamed Maggie Thatcher and her American besties, because this is the time as well you get the special friendship being mentioned a lot, because you had to have the special friendship with America, and it wasn't a special friendship, it was just them trashing our communities with capitalism. And we have this pumped in, capitalism's the best, yay. Capitalism can work with socialism. We did that from World War II to the 1980s, and it worked. And it built really good communities. And then when you see these communities being stripped away because the factories, the coal mines and the foundries all got stripped away, those communities got stripped out because there was no longer a union and no longer a community around those factories. And then when you lose that community, you lose a sense of reason for you to drive forward, and a sense of, it's hard to explain because there's a bits of it here and there, because I'm in the countryside, I'm in a small town. So if we hear someone's opening a new business, we go support them. And there's still a sense of that up here, up north. But they don't like us having it. They do everything to strip our dialect, everything. That's what Southerners try and do to us. And that's with the backing of America. So yeah, we need to have a big sit down and see if we can get these communities back, and the sense of going forward together as being British. It doesn't even have to be as British. You could be as Scottish, English and Wales, and finding some sort of common ground so we could all work together as communities. And that is what we're looking for. And that is what these pensioners are looking for.